In Dallas. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
50.
They'll look to throw now on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up first and goal.
And they'll try the option on first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown. His second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, break. Come 19. Come 19. Dragon 60.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Tolbert. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago with that win over Detroit.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back. For a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They are riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who played best and don't worry about the rest of it.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill as that was one heck of a run there. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Davion Taylor coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because
he's got a man complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
He'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
These two teams have met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas.
Here we go. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. 26 yards as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
They'll set up to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
They'll try and throw for it here. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Room here to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up a throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
Check pass, check pass.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go. Cut 19!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is caught by Watkins.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Down to the 42, second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats. Left wing 19. Buffalo 18. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
Looking to throw. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it.
And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 23. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a gain of 2, and it will be the final act of this first half of play. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Second down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And some room to work. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring it. Just outside of the 15.
Let's go now.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Cowboy 80.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Check contact, check contact.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
60 Maverick. Moving 19. 19 tight. 19 tight. Go.
They'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. It got his man complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
18 Rattler.
Back to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Come on.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 153 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Get it. Warriors 70.
Huntley to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
60. Ready, go.
Here's Huntley.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
Ready?
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Come 19, come 19. Back to 60. Ready.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Huntley's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on it and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
To throw, Huntley.
And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. We're on to the fourth here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. Seventy Rangers. 60 Maverick. Ready.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this one's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Off play action. Huntley. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Let's go now.
2nd down at 5.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Trap 50.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
The Eagles send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party.
Here we go.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hurt. Chop alert. Ready.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Pat the street. Bring it.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. Stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Go, Reed. Go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times...
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
No check. No check.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Roll. Freeze.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you?